News 46 is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, we catch up with Apple co-founder Ronald Wayne. Pay It Forward receives a Hometown Hero Award, and Miss Pahrump to be crowned this Saturday. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, June 10th, 2015. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Ronald Wayne has become an internet meme for how bad your day could be, showing a picture of the 81-year-old and stating at least you didn't sell your share of Apple computers for $600. Wayne co-founded Apple with Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. He has been a longtime resident of Pahrump and is involved in many different ventures, including writing. Wayne is also part of the Shakespeare Group, and he's even done voiceovers for a commercial production here at KPVM-TV. We caught up with Ronald Wayne recently to find out about his new online lecture series. In our first part of our conversation today, we jump right in to ask Ron to answer the age-old question of why he sold his share of Apple.
I had been working with Steve Jobs at Atari. He was a consulting engineer for Atari. I was the chief draftsman and product development engineer. So naturally, I was involved with all the engineers, but Jobs and I got pretty chummy over a span of a couple of years. And he, in turn, then later on introduced me to Steve Wozniak. And he introduced me to Wozniak only because they were having a minor dispute over business matters. They were thinking about forming a company, but there was a dispute as to proprietorship of the circuits that Woz had developed, because Woz was the genius, and but everything he did for the fun of it. And he wanted to retain proprietorship of the circuitry so that he could use it in other applications, and Jobs was trying to tell him he couldn't do that. This would be the core of the company, and he was having a hell of a time trying to get him to understand this. So I said, well, fine, bring him over to the house, we'll sit down, we'll chat about it. Well, Woz was a reasonable fellow, and all I had to do was lay it out for him, and he finally came around, and as a matter of fact, in less than an hour, we were chatting, and he understood finally, okay. Well, Jobs was so impressed with my ability as a diplomat. You know what a diplomat is a fellow who can tell you to go to hell in a way that makes you look forward to the trip. Exactly. Okay. Anyway, he said, well, we're going to found the Apple Computer Company. That's it. And he and Wozniak would get 45%, and I would get 10% as the tiebreaker, because Jobs felt that in the event of any further disputes that I would come down on the side of reason. And everything went together. I sat down immediately and typed up the contract, 3 contracts in fact, which we signed, and set up a registry at the registrar's office in Santa Clara, California, and the company, Apple Computer Company, was founded. And then 12 days later, I went down to Santa Clara County Registrar's office and took my name off the contract.
And we'll have more with Ronald Wayne on tomorrow night's broadcast. A wrong-way driver was arrested on Highway 160 in Calvada Boulevard Monday night. Several citizens used their vehicles to block the elderly gentleman's car from continuing on his journey on the wrong side of the road. Luckily, no one was injured as a result. The man, however, was arrested for suspicion of DUI. Deanna Foster and her Pay It Forward Facebook page received a Hometown Hero Award.
It's really nice that Pahrump community really stood up to vote me in again.
So Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza gave you this award. Tell me what it was like.
They did. I was called by him, and he told me, and then he gave us $300 to put towards Pay It Forward.
So what's going on with that? Because you've been helping pay people's electric bills?
Not really. They just ask for people's help, and those people help them, but I will use that for helping them. It doesn't go to us at all.
And so Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza gave you $300 and a dinner, so you're going to be putting this to help out people in the community. Tell people about Pay It Forward.
Pay It Forward is going to try to do their best to put that to people that actually need it. We have stuff we have to store now with clothing and household goods, and as soon as we get that done, it'll be posted.
How can people join Pay It Forward?
Just go to the Facebook page, pull up Pay It Forward Pahrump, and send over a request, and we'll sign you up.
And then tell some of the things that are going on within that Facebook page, because it's quite impressive.
Well, the thing is the whole community really has stepped forward to help others. Even if they just need sheets, food, anything, people can put on there what they want, and somebody usually always comes up to help. It's just fantastic.
You do that too, though, don't you? Run around all day long collecting things, dropping off things?
I do some pickups for sure, and we do deliver if they don't have a vehicle.
You're busy all the time?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're also looking for people if they want to volunteer and help out?
Yeah, we do have a lot of things to sort right now. We've kind of inundated with some things that we need to go through each box and sort clothes and take photos and put them on the Facebook.
How can people contact you?
Through the Facebook page, and they can send me a private message if they're available sometime during the week. Just let me know.
And congratulations to Deanna. Well, there's only one 1/1,000,000th Corvette. General Motors is now restoring the white 1992 LT1 convertible roadster, hopefully in time for a Corvette Museum's 21st anniversary. The Corvette is one of 8 priceless vets swallowed by a sinkhole last year at the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The world's oldest passenger car debuted in 1953. The 1/1,000,000th vet paid homage to that 1953 model because both cars share the same black soft top, white paint job, and red interior color scheme. So far, they have restored about 20% of the car. When members of the restoration team rolled up their sleeves and took the car apart for the first time last April, they discovered a surprise. Hundreds of them, actually. The surfaces underneath nearly every part were absolutely covered with signatures. The GM assembly line workers at the Bowling Green factory who rolled the car out in July of 1992 had signed it. They signed it in virtually every hidden place under the carpet, under the side panels, under the dash pad. Each signature amounted to a personal salute from hundreds of proud men and women honoring their work and the museum piece they helped create. The restoration team is doing all they can now to save those signatures. The 1/1,000,000th is one of 3 cars experts said were salvageable from the disaster. We'll have your Desert View Hospital health tip when we return.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
And welcome back. Last fall, a multi-state outbreak of fungal meningitis occurred after contaminated steroid injections were given to patients to treat back pain and other neuropathic symptoms. These contaminated injections also produced spinal infections at the injection site. A new study examined whether a screening MRI could detect these infections in patients who did not initially report new symptoms after receiving these contaminated injections.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
The 23-state outbreak of contaminated injections hit the state of Michigan the hardest. The methylprednisolone was distributed from a compounding center in New England and used in injections for patients at 75 independent pain clinics nationwide. Construction worker J.R. Mazer received an injection with the contaminated drug last September and came to the fungal clinic at St. Joseph Mercy Hospital.
You still having the numbness?
The clinic was set up to help treat patients like him.
I decided it was time to come to the clinic because I couldn't turn my neck or bend my neck down and had an excruciating headache.
He was diagnosed with fungal meningitis. However, the clinic started noticing patients who had received the injections but didn't develop meningitis.
We actually started seeing some patients that only presented with just infection at the injection site.
Dr. Anurag Malani from St. Joseph's Hospital and co-authors performed MRIs on 172 patients who had not presented for care related to their contaminated injections. Based on these MRIs, 118 patients had no evidence of infection, 18 had equivocal results, neither normal nor clearly showing infection, and 36 had evidence of infection.
Of the patients that had abnormal MRIs, 35 of them actually met the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention case definitions for probable or confirmed fungal spinal or paraspinal infection related to this outbreak. 24 required surgery, and about 70% of the patients, or 25 of them, required two-drug therapy.
Researchers say each case is different and can present with or without increased symptoms.
Over a third of these patients had no change in their chronic pain, but yet were found to have infection.
On average, it took about 87 days to detect whether patients developed infections. This MRI on the left was initially normal. 19 days later, another MRI showed the same patient had an infection.
And important to recognize that we don't fully yet understand what the incubation period is.
JR may have to go back into the hospital, but says he has a very supportive wife and is trying to stay positive.
I hope to stay alive, and I hope to keep the ability to walk. I'm hoping that we can cure this thing.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Thank you, Catherine. Researchers say proactive outreach is needed for these patients to see whether they have undergone an MRI or have experienced new or increased pain. Governor Brian Sandoval has signed new legislation creating a new judicial district. It will help with Nye County's caseload. Nevada's 11th judicial district will comprise of Lander, Mineral, and Pershing counties. Since the new district will remove Mineral County from our court system, it will mean that our district judges will be relieved of about 155 cases per year. The 5th judicial district will now include Nye and Esmeralda counties effective July 1st. This action also saves the county money for travel and lodging for our 2 judges. 2 vehicles collided on Highway 372 and Pahrump Valley Boulevard this afternoon. A 2-vehicle accident occurred on Highway 372 and Pahrump Valley Boulevard this afternoon. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's deputies, and Nevada Highway Patrol all arrived on scene. 1 occupant in 1 vehicle was transported to Desert View Hospital with injuries sustained as a result of this accident. No one else on scene reported any injury at the time the accident occurred. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of this accident, which appears to be failure to yield the right-of-way. Both vehicles sustained moderate damage. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. When we return, we'll tell you about the Miss Pahrump pageant happening on Saturday.